Hi everyone, I know my hair a little crazy. It's because I've been outside and it's kind of windy, you know what I'm saying? But we looking a little glossy today. We looking a little cute, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, today we're gonna be reading Yandere Slasher's ex-listener. As you guys remember, there was some very blatant blackmail. I want to find out what happens next. Let's get straight into it. Oh, by the way, do you guys like the new intro? I randomly made it. It was supposed to be something completely different. But I was like, that should totally be my intro. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, let's get straight into it. So I hope you don't mind the AC on. It's a little crazy in here. But yeah. Anyways, chapter 38, breaking point. I think it's normal that you go and pack, my sweet YN. Don't you agree? Now? You were nervous to say the least, still not being able to process this. Moving in with 4 slashers, keeping their secret, protecting your mother, all whilst you try to act natural and pretend nothing happened? What about your psychology classes? What about your friends? What were you going to do? Sooner rather than later is considerably more beneficial, don't you think? Hannibal quoted in a friendly manner, taking a few steps towards you. Without thinking, you automatically took one step back and felt your body tense up. Still traumatized by all of them. They almost killed your mother without a care in the world. They all confessed their obsessive love towards you, and they all acted so possessive. I suppose so. I'm going to go and pack by myself. You regained some of your composure and took a deep breath, beginning to walk out of the living room. Wait! Norman hurried to your side and grasped your wrist with both hands. Please! Oh, let me go with you. Can I help? I can help. And keep you company too. You're about to reject him, but the desperate gleam in his eyes and the pleading begs changed your mind. Well, I guess you can tag along. You sighed, allowing the dark-haired male to hold onto your hand and follow you into the hallway. Silence settled between you both. You not wanting to talk, and Norman probably too shy to strike a proper conversation. But once you've gone upstairs and opened your door to your bedroom, Norman stopped and looked around. This is your bedroom? Mm-hmm. You dipped your head. Why do you ask? You wondered as you made your way towards your wardrobe, pulling the suitcase down from the top of it. What? Oh, right. It's just so nice. The timid male complimented shyly. So pretty. I really like it. You felt nervous when his breathing became a bit ragged and his twitching returned, making him look a little unstable. Was he about to... Norman? You hesitantly called his name, placing the suitcase on your bed and turning to face him. Are you feeling all right? I really like you as well, he told you in a low and excited voice, walking straight into your bedroom and engulfing you in a tight hug, growing more and more in love with you by the minute. No, the second. I love you so much, Ryan. I do. I really do. I appreciate that, but please tell me you feel the same. I know you love me too. Norman cut you off and cuddled you harder, clinging to you like a child as he smiled brightly. My mother told me you did. Oh, I'm so happy. Hey, let's slow down. No. You placed your hands on his shoulders and gently moved him back, trying to calm yourself and Norman down. But after everything that just happened and what's still going on, it was immensely difficult. I'm flattered, really, but I can't decide on how I feel in the spur of a moment, especially not after what just happened before. But Norman looked betrayed, his eyes constricting and looking incredibly unhinged right now. But mother said so. You have to love me. No. You do. I know you do. You're about to respond, but Norman's hands curled around both of your wrists, his betrayed expression switching into a brighter one. What the? Oh, Ryan, you're so silly. His genuine happy-go-lucky attitude threw you off entirely, surprised by how cheerful he was now. Making jokes like that, you really got me. Please don't do it again, though. You scared me a little. There was nothing you could say, realizing that, at the moment, Norman's mental state was too erratic to calm down and bring back to reality. Right. You trailed off, trying to change the topic. So, didn't you say you wanted to help me? Like, with packing and stuff? You pulled your wrist out of Norman's grasp and turned towards your suitcase, unzipping it. Yeah, we can do it together, like a team. He seemed bright. He seemed happier, which confused you, which was confusing you. It's what couples do, right? They're always doing things like this together, right? Ignoring your unsettled thoughts, you opened your wardrobe and collected clothes, fitting as many as you could into the suitcase. After you'd done that, you'd put in other necessities like your deodorant, hairbrush, and so on. Norman sat on the end of your bed and watched you, wondering what he could do to help. So, can I help? Isn't there anything I can do? He spoke in a dejected tone, making you feel bad. To be totally honest, you didn't really need any help out with packing. But your sympathy and for his sorrow face toyed with your thoughts. You're just being here as helping, Norman. You flashed a fake smile at him. You said you keep me company, and you have, so thank you. I'm very grateful. I'm so glad you enjoy my company, YN. Norman's cheeks glowed pink as he smiled widely again. Are you almost ready? I mean, I'm just so happy that you're coming to stay with us. His remark made you think back to before, and your fake happiness faded away, leaving you behind your real feelings. You're happy I'm coming to stay with you guys, huh? Your voice was quiet, Norman only just being able to catch what you said. Oh, of course even though you hurt my mom and caused me a huge amount of pain? You flatly questioned, causing him to freeze. Well, it's true, but I feel bad about it. Norman stared at the floor for a moment, feeling very ashamed. Then he quickly looked back up. But Hannibal said it was the only way. The only way to what? To what? What did you guys all have to gain? You asked coolly, zipping your suitcase back up before looking at him. He said that this was the only way to get you to agree, Norman mumbled. But I promise you'll be happy. We love you ever so much, he added in a lighter tone, giving you another loving hug as you set your suitcase down on the floor. And you jumped when two hands held your shoulders, one being a knifed glove. None of this would have happened if you'd agreed in the first place. Freddie spoke against your neck innocently, though you could hear the devious dripping through his tone. Excuse me? You retorted, unable to believe what you just heard. If you'd had accepted what we wanted from the start, your mother wouldn't have gotten hurt. He smoothly continued, his words cutting into you while he purposely tried to make you feel bad. No, that's... So I guess what I'm saying is... The dream demon paused for a moment, moving his lips to your ear. It was technically your fault, he murmured cruelly, a small smirk spreading across his burnt facial features. And guess what is going to happen next? Slap that boy's face so hard. Girl, I don't know how you haven't slapped him yet. Like, slap him so hard. Oh my gosh. I never wanted to slap a demon in my life, but this is the moment where I would teleport into her universe. Bah! Bro. I give him the hardest slap in the universe, bro. As a matter of fact, I'd ask Jason Voorhees to do it for me to make it extra harsh. With the machete, too, but pointed this but pointed triangly? I don't know, but, where it hurts. This bitch. How dare her? How dare he? Freddie, leave her alone. Norman tried to intervene. Stop being so mean. Oh, no, that's not true. You whispered defiantly. Oh, defiantly. Blinking away the hurt tears and trying to defend your previous actions. Your mother's hurt because you didn't listen to us. Because you let it happen. God, she could have died because of you. Freddie wickedly carried on, knowing that you were so close to emotionally breaking down. Stop it. Just stop it. You spun around and shoved him away from you, shaking with flight anger as you clenched your face. That's not true. So just stop. For God's sakes, haven't you done enough? You shouted at him, grabbing the handle of your suitcase and moving towards the door. Just leave me alone already. With that said, you slammed the door shut and wheeled your suitcase downstairs, feeling tremendously unstable yourself now. Oh? Okay, chapter 39, One of Those People. By the way, guys, obviously, since these are slashers, they're Yandere, blah, 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 blah. This is not going to be like, oh my god, I love you too, Obviously, there's going to be some very stuffed to the point where you might hate some of these characters. Probably I will let you guys take a guess. I will let you guys, I'll give you a hint of who you probably won't hate as much. And that will start with a J. I'm pretty sure you guys already figured it out by now. I'm not going to say the name though. But J, y'all will be able to figure it out. Definitely. But yeah, you probably won't hate them the worst. Because honestly, they probably help you the most in terms of emotional problems. But yeah. Anyways, let's get started. Done already? Hannibal's friendly voice caught your attention. The smart male standing in the living room still. That was fast. Your eyes swiveled to the sofa, noticing your mother's neck had been taken care of. She was unconscious, but that was to be expected. You dipped your head as a nod, not being able to say anything, due to Freddy's words messing with your mind. None of this would have happened if you disagree in the first place. Lowering your gaze, you thought about it properly, guilt swirling around your heart as you stood still. If you just... Basically, it's Freddy taunting her in her mind, so... I mean, it just makes me want to slap the phone. Like, for real. So it makes me want to slap the phone so hard, bro. If you just accepted what we wanted from the start, your mother wouldn't have gotten hurt. No. Were you too slow in making your decision? Well, kind of, but not really. So I guess what I'm saying is, it was technically your fault. It couldn't have been your fault. Could it? Your mother's hurt because you didn't listen to us. Because you let it happen. God, she could have died because of you. His dark remarks made you feel even worse, toying with your mind and twisting your thoughts to the point where you had no idea what you should or shouldn't have done. Brett, if this was my mom, she probably would have let herself die. And be like, okay, well, y'all, I want to stay here. And y'all got to pay for the medical bills. And y'all got to pay for the funeral. For reals. Wyan, your eyes widened once you snapped back up your head. Hannibal softly touching your shoulder and sending you a soothing smile. You look terribly disturbed. He commented in concern, using his forefinger to delicately wipe away the tears you didn't even know were there. You flinched at his touch, but didn't do anything about it. Did Norman trouble you up there? Are you still recovering from before? Norman didn't trouble me, at least not intentionally. And what... You quietly replied. And what, you think I'd brush off what happened before? You could have killed someone I loved. How am I meant to recover from that? You questioned coolly, staring at him in disbelief. You will, my dear. Hannibal used his other hand to cradle your cheek. Traumatic events such as these fade with time. Besides, Wyan, the four of us are always going to be there to help and protect you from any sort of danger. Protect me from danger? You couldn't even comprehend what he meant. In your mind, you were already in a perilous... Is this another word I gotta look up? Perilous... paralysis situation. What kind of danger could I be in? You never know. His voice became more serious, now running his first hand through your hair as his second hand still cupped your face. Danger often resides in the darkness of other people's thoughts and actions. Not to mention, it can lurk within the shadows. He spoke ominously, his persona changing from pleasant to pensive. Oh, you didn't really have to reply to that, finding it to be a very melancholy. You know what? We're looking this up. I hate words like this.
Melancholy.
I actually said it right. Oh my god, I did it! Melancholy, I said it right! Obviously, this is what it means. A feeling of pensive sadness, typically with no obvious cause. Again, a word I didn't even know existed. Anyways, my happiness, going crazy right now. Continuing on. You didn't really have a reply to that. Finding it to be, oh yeah, weird, read that? My apologies. I do believe that I made that far too dismal. Hannibal switched back to his regular self, smiling once more. All beside that, are you ready to leave quite yet? How do I know my mother will be all right? You spoke suspiciously, glancing back at your mom. I mean, I literally just watched Mikael attack her. Your tone was unintentionally sharp, your trust for all of them having vanished from the previous event. I understand your distrust, but please. The only reason we had to go that far is because you were leaning towards the consequences option. Though his voice was silky smooth, his reply sounded like he couldn't care less, like if it was little interest to him. Fear though not. At the current time, your mother will be just fine. You are beginning to see right through his fake facade, your fear fading as your courage returns slightly. I get it. You respond, breaking away from his hold. You understand I understand that you're one of those people. You said slowly, snapping eternally. One of those people? Hannibal repeated calmly, waiting for you to continue. One of those people who can get close to someone, even if it means you get what you want. Excuse me, if it means you get what you want, even if it's hurting the people around them, hurting the people they love, without a care in the world, with little to no emotion, with little to no feeling. You say you have feelings for me, but do you really? Your voice turned cold while you looked at him straight in the eye. Before he could speak, you continued. Lack of empathy, lack of guilt, lack of remorse, fake charming, acting insincere. Those people. The ones that rarely show emotion. The people that share those traits. They're what you call psychopaths. That's what I've learned from my psychology class. You narrowed your eyes a tad, wanting nothing but the truth. Is that what you are? Are you one of those people? Are you a psychopath? Then again, you wanted to know something else before receiving the truth. And another thing. You say my mother will be fine at the current time. Yet that felt like an underlying threat. Like you would hurt her again if I didn't comply with something you wanted from me in the future. You say trauma fades with time. But how do you expect me to forget what you have done, what the four of you have done? How do you expect me to fall in love with any of you after what's taken place here? Once you finished speaking, you brushed past him and pulled your suitcase to the door, leaving the living room and Hannibal behind. But before you left, you turned and said one final thing to the psychiatrist. Badness and blackmail may not be the same thing, but using emotional blackmail on the person you supposedly love, that doesn't seem like a smart idea. At least, not to me. After that, you opened the front door and left your house. Mika shouting your footsteps following you out. He moved to the side of you and stopped with his usual hand-to-touch shoulder action. What is it? Am I meant to regret what I said to Hannibal? You questioned flatly because the things I said were from the heart, from what I felt. I won't take any of that back. You can't fake how you feel. It doesn't do anything if you do. Your hand tightened on the suitcase handle, unable to stop yourself from spilling your thoughts. Mikhail shook his head, writing down what he wanted to say like he always did. I'm not here to make you take it back. I may not be able to feel emotions like you do, but I could see how much it hurt. He showed you what he'd written, and you shook your head, remembering what he'd done to your mom. What do you want, Mikhail? You asked icily, tired from both the emotional blackmail and the hurtful events from earlier, not to mention how late it was. I followed you to keep an eye on you and carry your suitcase. The stalker wrote back, his dark eyes staring at you with the utmost intensity. Keep an eye on me? You're about to ask why, but stopped yourself. You knew why. You were his obsession, the one he would stalk and follow indefinitely until the day you died. There was nothing you could do. Your freedom had been ripped away from you. It was like you were their possession now. Sure, your life had been a bit repetitive before you all met all of them, but you should have valued your freedom more. Probably. If you'd taken the damn hypo if you were a little bit more like, oh my goodness. Candace, Lawrence, Amber. Would you ever see them again? You all intrigue me. I know you... This is basically a background of, like, whenever she was talking to Hannibal, he's like, why do you even, like, talk to us or whatnot? And, I'm going to shorten it. So yeah, and then she's basically like, wow, I'm a dumbass. What a silly thing to say. Why did you even say it? It's not like you understood any of them still. All you did was make them fawn and fight over you. If you insist on carrying my suitcase, then I guess you can. You pass the handle over to the silent male and let him pull it instead. It's not like you listen to me anyway. You just follow your instincts and try to control me. Mikael didn't disagree with your statement. In fact, he gave a gentle nod, knowing that he did want to control and protect you until the end of time. At least try and hide your obsessive tendencies towards me, you muttered, the stalker just tilting his head and staring at you with a hint of confusion. Then he held your hand with his other one, gripping it tightly, almost as if he couldn't physically let go. How are you meant to live with any of them? When one constantly shocks you, one constantly haunts your dreams, one uses emotional blackmail, one randomly switches personalities, and one who tries to kill anyone that steps foot into Camp Crystal Lake. Just what were you to do? Here's what I would do. Go move with Jason. Absolute honey boo boo up in there. Like, he is absolutely the sweetest guy you would ever be able to go to for any issues. And y'all would be surprised why. Chapter 40, New Home. Just what were you to do? YN! You turned your head a little and saw Norman hurry towards you. Wait for me. He grasped your other hand, you now being sandwiched between them. Hey, Norman. You greeted in a monotone voice, walking with the two of them as you three made your way towards their house. I can't wait for you to live with us. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Norman explained joyfully, giving your hand a squeeze and acting happy. You remained silent, disagreeing with what he was so excited about. The only reason you were living with them was because of emotional blackmail, not because you were desperate to. It's true, you liked them beforehand, but after that, you weren't so sure anymore. Is that what you are? Are you one of those people? Are you a psychopath? Why'd you ask him that? And you didn't even give him time to answer. You were just so frustrated by that point. Then again, you wondered what it was going to be like, living with all of them, minus Jason. At least he hadn't hurt you emotionally. YN? Norman said your name, worriedly tilting his head a little. Are you feeling alright? You seem a little bit quiet. Quiet? No kidding. After all you'd been through tonight? What were you supposed to be like? Chirpy? Cheerful? What's the matter? Feeling alright? What do you think? My mother got hurt because of me, and now I'm being forced to live in your house. I didn't get a choice, and the reason I'm so quiet is because I don't have anything to say, you coolly replied. Norman, it's impolite to pry. Hannibal's voice came from behind you three, so he spun around to face him and broke the hand-holding. Please refrain from doing so. I'm sorry, Ryan. I really didn't mean to. Norman apologized instantly, biting his lip and looking ashamed. My apologies for earlier, YN. You know this man's lying. Oh my goodness. Hannibal caught up to you three and held one of your hands in his. I didn't mean to cause an outburst. Then he paused for a moment. But to answer your previous question, I guess you could say I am. Though I'm surprised you recognized all of the symptoms. Your psychology classes have taught you well, it seems. So you agree. You stared at his hand holding before looking up again. You agree that you only get close to people to get what you want. Is that what you're doing to me? If so, what do you have to gain from getting close to me? Hannibal clasped both of your hands and shook his head, his dark eyes staring right back at you, while he contemplated how to respond. I don't think you'd like my answer to your first question, but I am certainly not doing it to you. His thumbs brushed across your skin, a tint of pink coloring your cheeks. You hated how your cheeks had heated up, though. Why would a faint blush occur when you said those words to him? Interruptions. Anyway, Why would a faint blush occur when you said those words to him? When you felt so frustrated and hurt? How am I meant to trust you? You retorted, disliking how embarrassed you were by his actions. I don't think there's anything I could say at the present time that would convince you. Hannibal calmly responded. You were about to reply, but the short conversation between you two got interrupted. Mikhail shoving Hannibal away and bringing out his kitchen knife. Mikhail, what did you do that for? Confusion flowed from your tone as you watched him swing his weapon at Hannibal violently. Honestly, Mikhail, Hannibal sighed, dodging the attack and rolling his eyes. Jealousy isn't attractive, you know. Jealousy? You echoed curiously, seeing Hannibal bring out his knife as well. Oh, Wyan. Norman spoke softly. Mikhail was jealous of the hand-holding, and I guess I was a little jealous too. He shyly admitted. But it was just hand-holding. You were bemused by what was going on, just wanting to get to their house and settle in. Can't you just stop, please? You were tired enough, not wanting to deal with even more fighting. It's late and I have my psychology class to go to tomorrow. I suppose I can stop for now. The psychiatrist decided, tucking his knife away and turning his back on the stalker. I am above such behavior after all. Are you sure about that? Let's go home and show Wyatt her new room, Norman suggested whilst he held your hand again, happy that you weren't stopping him. Mikhail narrowing his eyes at Hannibal and then returning to your side, sticking close to you as he wanted to prevent Hannibal from trying anything. He wouldn't allow it. You were his and nobody else's. You are absolutely right. Now let's get you some well-deserved rest. Hannibal directed his last sentence at you, the four of you heading in the direction of their house as silence settled between you all. Once you arrived at their house, you saw Freddy leaning against the wall in the hallway, flashing his usual dark grin at you. Well. You sure took your time. You mischievously remarked, Welcome home, sweets. Yeah, thanks. You muttered, avoiding eye contact and looking away from him. Aw, must you be so cold. The dream demon breathed again into your ear as he teleported behind you, wrapping his arms around your waist and resting his head on your shoulder. Don't start, Kruger, Hannibal ordered in annoyance, shooting him a stern look. Yeah, we don't have time for this, Norman agreed, using his hand to pull you out of Freddy's arms. Oh, and why is that, Mama's boy? The dream demon shot back as he grew irritated by Norman's action. What right did that stuttering little sissy boy have to pull you away from him like that? You belong to him. If you must know, we're showing Ryan to her room and helping her settle in, Hannibal explained, locking eyes with Freddy sternly. Guess they really didn't like each other. Is there a problem with that? Whatever, I couldn't care less. Freddy started to walk away, but then stopped himself and turned to face you again. See you in your dreams, baby girl. Ugh. After he said that, he winked and blew you a kiss before vanishing into thin air. Come on now, my dear. Wyan. Hannibal said pleasantly, like you said, it's getting to be very late. And we should let you get some rest and recover from today's stressful series of events. Right. You dipped your head and followed him upstairs, Norman still holding your hand as Mikhail shadowed your every step. Once Hannibal had opened the door and led you inside, you looked around curiously, liking how normal it seems to be. I'm terribly sorry if it's not to your liking. You see, it's one of our spare rooms, so we didn't have much to decorate. That's all right. I don't mind. Your voice turned flat, emotionally and physically exhausted. I'd just like to unpack and head to sleep if that's okay. I understand. Now, Mikhail, Norman, why don't we leave Wyan alone to unpack and get ready for bed? Hannibal turned to the other two and ushered them out of the door, sending you a sweet smile. The silent stalker shook his head, and so did Norman, neither of them wanting to leave. I can help you unpack, the shy boy offered. I'd like to spend more time together. All you wanted was to be by yourself at the moment. Too worn out to interact with any of them now. I think Wyan just needs some time to herself. Hannibal spoke to them with a casual tone of voice, causing the other to pause and think about it. I guess you're right. Norman gave in, a smile spreading across his face. Good night, then, Wyan. See you tomorrow. And with that, he waved before leaving, obviously happy about seeing you tomorrow. Come on, Mikael. The psychiatrist placed his hand on the stalker's shoulder, the mute male giving a curt nod and leaving the room too. Then Hannibal faced you again. I wish you pleasant dreams and have a good night's sleep, my darling Wyan. After he said that to you, that sweet smile of his returned for a split second. But once a few seconds had passed, you were eventually left alone, the only company being your thoughts. Oof. Chapter 41, Sneaky Strategy. Excuse me, I just ate a donut. Oh, goodness. Let me clear my throat. Okay, anyways, pulling out your phone, you looked at the time and stifled a soft yawn, knowing that you should really get to sleep. 11:30. But you still had to unpack. You unzipped your suitcase, then stopped. Feeling too exhausted to actually unpack properly, you just unpack in the morning. So instead, you changed out of your clothes and slipped on some pajamas from said suitcase, flicking off the light and before climbing to bed. Though, you wondered how your mom was doing. Was she alright? Was she in pain? Had she attempted to go to the police anyway, despite Hannibal's remark? Were you able to overthink things? It was... Excuse me. I just read the unit name. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so long. It was difficult to tell at this point, however, considering your nerves were completely out of control. You rolled over onto your side, finding it hard to get to sleep and leaving reality behind. Oh, excuse me. Today had been utterly insane. How on earth were you meant to live with them? It wasn't like you willingly decided to come here. Sighing, you simply stared at the wall, different emotions spiraling around your heart. How did they all even live together like this? Hannibal, Mikael, Freddy, Norman? Their personalities were just so unalike and unfitting. How were you meant to fit in with them? Whilst you were brooding over this, the four killers were gathered in the living room. Hannibal and Mikael standing up straight, Norman huddled on the sofa, and Freddy leaning against the wall as per usual. So, what the fuck did you call us for again? Here for again. There better be a good damn reason for this. I'm missing out on kills here. The dream demon folded his arms and narrowed his eyes at the psychiatrist, annoyed by him. I truly despise your distasteful language, Kruger. Hannibal wrinkled his nose and carried on. But besides the point, after the persuasion we used to get Sweet YN to agree to our request, you three must have noticed by now how upset she is with us at the present time. Yeah, but what are we meant to do about it? And Norman clasped both hands to his chest as his face became clouded with sadness. The teen wanting nothing more but to have YN love him. Mikael clenched his fist, also annoyed by how unhappy she was around them. All he did was attack her mother. It's not like he hurt her or anything. In his mind, that was perfectly acceptable. I, for one, think Stockholm Syndrome will eventually take effect. Hannibal angelically replied, Stockholm Syndrome? Norman slowly repeated after the smart male, not understanding what that meant. Yes. Hannibal dipped his head as a nod, calmly crossing his arms. It's typically described as a mental condition, one where a hostage eventually develops positive feelings toward their captor, regardless of whether or not they felt said emotions at the start. But YN is not a hostage, Norman piped up nervously. She's a person. Of course she is. I never implied she wasn't. Hannibal immediately agreed. I was simply telling you how Stockholm Syndrome usually worked. That's all. Besides, Wyan already likes me, Norman proudly declared, his previous anxiety fading away once his mind flashed to spending time together in her bedroom. She loves me. Mother said so. His announcement caused Freddie to cruelly laugh, taking his declaration with a pinch of salt. Oh, please. The killer retaliated heartlessly. Why don't you fucking listen to us for once? Your mother is fucking R.I.P. up in this bitch. And right now, Wine doesn't even like you, let alone love you. Oh, shut up. Norman snapped back. She likes me more than you. Both of you, quiet down, now. Hannibal darkly commanded. Wine is trying to sleep, remember? So if she overhears us, that would worsen the situation at hand, don't you agree? Mikaela gave a nod of agreement, glaring at the dream demon, in particular due to the fact that the stalker really didn't like him. So, does everyone understand our new strategy? Hannibal spoke to all the slashers, Freddy pushing himself off the wall and still acting arrogant, like usual, I suppose. Norman glanced at the ground in shame, not wanting to twist Wyan's feelings in such an underhanded way, constantly messing with how she feels. Freddy's devilish grin returned to his facial features, looking forward to playing around with her emotions. Oh, I like it. This is more my style. Hannibal nodded seriously, finishing up the meeting/conversation and leaving the room, deciding to get back to his work. Freddy vanished into thin air as he entered into the dream rail and slithered his way into a certain someone's dreaming state, entertained by the task they'd been given. Mika headed upstairs and opened Wyan's door a crack, seeing that she was fast asleep by this point. This, of course, was great for the killer, knowing that now he could stalk her. And as for Norman, the dark-haired teen stayed in the living room, deliberating on whether or not they were about to do was right. Was what Hannibal said true? Was this the only way? He didn't know. Freddy, on the other hand, had slipped into your mind dream successfully, catching you off guard as he was quite late. I didn't think you were actually coming tonight. You're usually a lot earlier than this. You pointed out, the boiler room can suddenly appearing around your body. I can come anywhere you want, princess. Ugh. Freddy joked smoothly, giving you a flirty wink and causing you to groan. That was terrible. Besides, I don't even want you in my dream. Not after tonight. So go pester someone else. You spoke sharply, turning away from him. Oh, don't be like that, dollface. He psychotically purred, grasping your shoulders and spinning you back around while his smugness increased by the second. Come on now, what the fuck's the problem? You were the one who agreed to stay in this house with us all. Only because I wasn't given a choice, you retorted with a resentful tone. You were too. Freddy's response made your eyes widen from surprise, confused by his words as you pushed him away. Excuse me? You coldly questioned, gritting your teeth when you saw his smug-filled smile. God, at the moment, he had no likability whatsoever sometimes. None. God, I don't know how you haven't slapped this man's whole future. Oh wait, how haven't you slapped this man's soul out of his body yet? I don't understand. Like, for reals. I don't understand, man. You're excused. His smile grew into one of his cruel smirks. Once he acted like a complete and utter smartass, grabbing both of your wrists and forcing you to stay where you were. Don't be such a dick. You and I both know I didn't get it. After all, you could have just chosen the consequences option, you know. The dream demon mysteriously interrupted, his green eyes glowing with malice, whatever. Whilst his comment struck a nerve. Why in God's name would I ever let my mother stay in harm's way? Your voice rose without you even noticing, instead focusing on trying to tug your wrist out of his grasp. Unlike you, I actually own a heart, and I'm not selfish, unlike some people. Bitch, please. Freddy rolled his eyes and tightened his hold on you, his smirk switching over to a dark grin as he pulled you an inch or two closer. I do whatever as long as I get what I want. Understand? You make me sick. You look at interruptions, you know? Anyway. You make me sick. You looked at him with utmost dislike. Your expression contort into one of disgust. And you expect me to fall for you? Don't make me laugh. I make you sick, huh? He drawled, snatching up the top of your chin with his left thumb and forefinger. I don't think someone's telling the truth. You do. You really, really do. Your voice died down when his gloved hand caressed the left side of your face, the blades toying with a few strands of your hair as he enjoyed your newly embarrassed state. So why do you grow so nervous when I touch you? The burnt male cooed in a superior tone, your uneven heartbeat and heated cheeks entertaining him. Because you touched me out of nowhere. Then why didn't you try and stop me? I wasn't expecting it. So why haven't you done any? Because before you could finish your sentence, Freddie forced your chin closer to his and smashed his dry, crusty-ass lips against yours, not giving you any time to come up with any sort of retaliation whatsoever. 42. Breakfast bickering. A sharp gasp slipped through your lips as your eyes shot open, your body moving on its own as you sat up as quickly as humanly possible. Minutes ticked silently past as your phone alarm went off like it usually did, being loud and annoying. Man, last night had been... You can't even begin to describe it. Did you feel well enough to go to your psychology class? Or should you take a few days off to recover and stay in your bedroom? Stifling a yawn, you turned your alarm off, not wanting to hear the obnoxious beep while you attempted to gather your distressed thoughts. It was only when you turned your alarm off that you noticed Mikael stalking you from the corner of the room, the pale-faced male staring at you intently. Mikael? Your eyes widened at the sight of him, not expecting the silent killer to be there. What are you... Got me off guard. What are you doing in here? And how long have you been just standing there? All you received as an answer was complete and utter silence. His dark eyes glued to your face while you tried to compose yourself. Mikael? I hope I'm not intruding or anything like that, YN. A voice spoke softly, your head swiveling to the side and meeting a familiar, dark-haired male standing by the door. Hannibal. You're not intruding, you wearily replied, raking a hand through your hair as you tried to wake up properly. Good morning. Hannibal smiled politely before responding. And a good morning to you as well, YN. He greeted gently, taking a step or two towards you and ignoring Mikael completely. How are you feeling? Is that a trick question? Your voice rose slightly, your eyes looking at him with an ounce of annoyance while you swung your legs around to the side of the bed, faced him with false confidence. No, it was not, but I understand your minor ounce of malice. Malice? What is... Malicia. Hannibal dipped his head as Anani continued smiling, taking a note of how you felt and knowing exactly how to handle the situation. Last night must have taken its toll on you. What the difficult decision you made. With the difficult decision you made. Right. You muttered, standing up and flipping open your suitcase once more. Like I had a choice. I was cornered into this. My dear, of course you had a choice. You were given two options, were you not? Hannibal's voice might have sounded innocent, but if there was any traces of innocence in him, you couldn't see it. That's not the point, and you know it. You picked out clothes from wheeling around, and before wheeling around to face him a second time. You knew I'd lean towards one option than the other. You knew I wouldn't be able to let Mikael hurt my mother more than he already had. So don't even try to deny it. Let's discuss let's return to that later. Hannibal pleasantly dismissed what you were two disagreeing on, instead deciding to brush your negative attitude to the side. For now. Norman's prepared a bit of breakfast downstairs, if you'd like some. Why would I interact with any of you? You asked with a hint of hostility, feeling defensive. After how all you guys behaved last night, why would I want to? It was simply an offer, that's all. Nothing more, nothing less. He smoothly remarked, his smile twisting into a slight smirk for a second later. Though, if you'd prefer to starve up here instead, then please be my guest. Amor mío. I looked into the comments to see if that was like in Spanish or not, and they said it's French, and I'm like, I know what it means though, so Kind of. Unless it's different in French. Whatever. Before you could muster up a response, Hannibal raised his hand as a soft wave and then exited the room. Mikael following suit. Watch me. I could stay up here all day. You murmured under your breath stubbornly, releasing a sigh of defeat afterwards, but he's right. I would eventually starve. Besides, I can't live my life in this room indefinitely. If you have a window, you can. Hold up. Now I want to look into the comments because they're kind of funny in this one. Hold on. I can go on without eating in days. Keep it up, Wyan. Bro, Hannibal, you are definitely messing with the wrong generation when it comes to eating. Not for days. Bruh. Oh no, you most likely not. Norman probably be sliding light snacks through the door. Hunger strike. Just starve. The hunger will go away after a while. I can, actually. Yes, you can. Just stay there so you can starve to death and not have to deal with them. Oh my gosh, these get darker and darker. Just watch me. Just hoard all the snacks that are good out of the fridge and can last a while. Also, take all the drinks. Simple. Oh my gosh. Gosh dang, don't give it in. Yes. Oh my god. Oh goodness. I can and I will. Watch me, bitch. And he didn't say anything about dehydration, so just give me water or juice and I'll be fine. I'm like, I'd rather go back to sleep and starve. Bruh. Oh goodness, watch me, bitch. Fam, just stay there. They'll eventually come to you and apologize because they don't want you dead, and if you refuse to eat, they'd either force you to or stop being dickheads. Bruh, you know what? That'd be so true. Literally though. You know, that is so true. Oh my gosh. You guys are sometimes so brutal in the comments. Bruh. So I feel like the author must be concerned. For reals. I would be concerned too. Like, damn. Anyway, but she definitely can. Definitely. Because, you know, Norma would be sliding snacks, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. You know how it is. Changing from your pajamas into some regular clothes, you brushed your hair and sprayed some deodorant underneath your arms, feeling a tad uneasy as you breathed in a bit. What would you say to them? What were they going to say to you? Would Freddie be there too? After your last encounter, you weren't too happy with him. Besides, you didn't want any more arguments to break out between the four of them. Living with them can be hard enough. So, feeling nervous, you descended down the stairs and entered the living room, seeing Norman place some food down. As soon as you entered the dining room, however, his face brightened up before he flung his arms tightly around you, burying his face into your shoulder, while he snuggled into your chest. Wyan, Norman joyfully explained. It's so good to see you. Hey, Norman. You responded in an uncomfortable voice, wrapping your arms around his waist. How's it going? It's going great now that you're here, he explained happily, tightening his hold on you and gazing up at you with the absolute adoration. Oh, I'm so happy that you're finally up. I see. You grasped his shoulders and slowly forced him back, feeling a tad bit awkward whilst you wondered what to say. Well, yeah, this is my usual wake-up time. Got it. Sorry, y'all. Interruptions again. I'm sorry. Okay. Got it. Norman clapped his hands together as his breathing became unstable. I'll remember that. I promise. So, you trailed off uneasily. What have you made for breakfast? It's just, Hannibal said that you didn't have time to finish what you were saying, seeing as Mikael's arms curled around your body and pulled you into a possessive hug from behind, resting his head on top of yours affectionately. Your eyes widened at his sudden actions, not expecting the stalker to be silently standing behind you. Leave her alone, Mikael! Norman sadly snapped. We were talking and you interrupted us. Don't be so rude! Mikael merely tilted his head, not caring in the slightest. And so the dark-haired male clenched his fist, tears welling up in his eyes as his jealousy increased by the second. What seems to be going on here? You whirled your head to the side and saw Hannibal standing there. Another one of his calm expressions spread across his facial features as he stood and watched. Mikael keeps dragging Wyatt away from me every time he's not included in something. Norman bursted out emotionally. That's what's going on here. Oh goodness. Damn, baby girl. Damn, baby girl. A familiar dream demon drawled out deviously, appearing out of thin air as he eyed you with a wicked glint in his gaze. Seems to me like you can cause a conflict any fucking where. I'm not trying to cause any kind of conflict. You broke out of Mikael's hold and took a step back from all of them, looking at the four males with a stern gaze. I came downstairs for breakfast, and that's all. Still, Norman refused to let Mikael's intimate embrace go, feeling nothing but resentment as he turned his attention towards Hannibal. But what Mikael did, that's not fair. For once, I have to agree with the stuttering little sissy boy over there. The white-faced freak shouldn't have all the fun. And Freddy crossed his arms abruptly, then flashed a hateful look at the stalker. The stalker staring right back at him with such dislike. Why don't the three of you compose yourselves and stop this behavior? First of all, Hannibal ordered in a calm and collected voice. It's not a very nice atmosphere to create and put our beloved Wyan through it, now is it? I guess not. Norman mumbled, watching you sit down at the table. I'm gonna eat now, if anyone's up to join me and stop this pointless arguing, feel free, you coolly announced, picking up your fork and taking a bite of the delicious breakfast Norman had made. I humbly accept. With that, Hannibal sat down on the opposite side of the table and shot you yet one of his sweet smiles, looking pleased by what you said. I will too, Norman typically declared, attempting to sound confident as he sat down right next to you. Miguel, however, didn't say anything, instead only stalking you from the corner of the room yet again. Oh, give me a break. The burnt male rolled his green-shaded eyes and swiped at the wallpaper, now a little pissed off. I don't even need to eat. As if I'd spend time with these fuckers. Anyway, catch you later, dollface. Ugh. Then, after blowing you a flirty kiss, Freddy vanished, leaving you behind with the three killers. Alright, y'all, so I'm sorry to... Oh my gosh, I hate Wattpad sometimes. Like, bro, I actually scrolled up and it hit me with... Oh my gosh. It's fine. I'm back now. It's there. Anyways, sorry, y'all, I have to end it there. I think we've already read too long, and I think I might have made this video a little long. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure, because I had to, like, record this very separately because my phone died while I was recording. Annoying, right? Anyways, what do you guys think will happen next? Do you think Wyan will forgive them of such actions? Do you think that she will somehow have someone to talk to about this? You guys let me know in the comments down below. To be honest, I kind of already gave you a hint of who she's probably going to be talking to in the next couple of chapters. So, you know, I think that will give you guys enough of a hint. And, you know, and I'm kind of like, I really feel bad for her, honestly. And I kind of wish, like, I know, like, it's pretty, like, oh, I'm mad at this person. I'm going to starve up here because of them. I'm like, listen, realistically, if you were to do that, they would probably go up there and either one, make you eat, or two, apologize and beg that you eat. And eventually, they do whatever you want. It's called manipulation. It's called manipulation. Well, kind of. It's like 50-50 on both sides. Yeah, it gets pretty dark with their plan, but as you guys remember, these are like serial killers, that are mostly psychopaths. Not that saying like every psychopath is out there, because realistically, there are some actual psychopaths that doesn't equal murderers or killers or any type of thing. I'm not too educated on that, but remember, just because they're either a sociopath or psychopath doesn't always equal killer or murderer or anything of that sort. Sometimes they're just diagnosed with that. and that just can't be helped. I'm pretty sure there's a TikToker on there that has been like, you know, officially, like, they actually been fully diagnosed about it, and they have a kid, they have a family. You know what I'm saying? Not that saying that it can't happen. It can't happen, but we can't always just assume just because they, you know, sociopath, psychopath, you know what I'm saying, doesn't always equal murderer, you know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to keep that in mind, because a lot of people somehow get that mixed together. Look it up more, educate yourselves more. I'm probably going to educate myself more on this topic, because I'm about to be in psychology next year, so I'll be definitely educating about this topic, so, and sociology, so I'll be in both, so next year, so yeah. Français. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing videos, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the new intro. Let me know in the comments down below if you liked it or not. I personally really like it. And yes, it is an actual real picture of the moon, like my last intro was. I took the picture of the moon. Yeah, I actually took the picture of the moon. If you want proof, here's the original photo of the moon that I took. And yeah, because my camera's designed to take like space shots and whatnot. It's pretty cool. But I mostly take pictures of the moon because, you know, the moon talking to the, you know, so yeah, there's some pretty cool pictures. But anyways, your girl's gotta go. I shall see y'all in a future video about this. Bye and peace.